Hello, welcome to the module which is regarding the logistics and all the things related to FBA and shipments and inventory in Europe. Today, I'm with the co-host Yulia. Yulia is our logistics manager at Inels. And how are you doing, Yulia, today? Is it all good?
Hi, Mark. Hello. Yes, I'm fine. Thank you very much for offering me this opportunity to join this meeting and to share my insights about logistics in Europe for Amazon. I think we can start sharing the presentation.
Yep, and let me do this. Thank you, Yulia, as well for making this presentation, because I think that today we'll cover quite interesting topics, and of course, also just a few words about that you help to fully to make shipments and control inventory of our clients, create systems, and try to make sure that we are complying with all the regulations in Europe, but also outside, regards to the inventory management and how Amazon receives the stocks and all of the issues. But yes, we're gonna speak a bit more about this today. So maybe you let me just first myself speak, yes, about these key points.
Yeah, sure.
And present it here, talking about FBA opportunities. What is the difference between FBA, PAN FBA, and EFN? Many of you know, but we start with the general things, then we dig deeper and speak about fees on Amazon. We speak about optimization opportunities, and we speak about the account health and shipment reconciliations, and actually how we can get some of the money back from Amazon. And sorry for this presentation mode. It's just a recording that we managed today. And Julia, I give a word to you, maybe first to cover what is EFN in Europe.
Yeah, sure. So as we presented before, Amazon offers a couple of possibilities to ship the goods to Europe. One of that is EFN. EFN stands for European Fulfillment Network. And what is actually EFN? EFN, let's say it's like one-stop shop. So you ship all your products only to one country in Europe. So it can be, for example, Germany, Austria, Sweden, Poland, Italy, France, and a couple more. And you just ship to one of them, but your products will be sold everywhere. And so maybe we can talk about the pluses of this program. And this program is very entry one, I would say. This is very good for the businesses that want to explore Europe at the very beginning, and they are not sure if they want to sell their products in each country separately. So in this case, Amazon offers a simple program for them because, first of all, the biggest issue for most of the businesses is VAT registration, and then, of course, not only registration but reporting. It requires more time, more money, of course. So in this case, it's easier for the company that never sold in Europe to start their businesses there as well. And as you have only one country, you will have only one store on Amazon to control. So you don't need to switch between different countries and to see the inventory and to plan that. You can just do it in one place. And of course, there are cons in this case. When you ship all your products only to one country, it means that you will face the cross-border fees. What does it mean? When you ship to Germany and you want to sell only in Germany, you will have lower fees because it's easier for Amazon and it's cheaper for them as well. And when you need to ship, for example, from Germany but to Spain, it takes more time, it takes more efforts from Amazon, and it means that you will pay higher cost to ship these products to your final customer. And as I also said, yes, it takes more time even for Prime it's not that fast that like all of us would like to have that.
And actually, I just want to maybe ask you, and in general, interesting is slower delivery times. Sometimes, if as in the picture, the stock is in the UK, but the end consumer buys it in Spain, Spain also shows the Prime badge, right? But it's not delivering in 1-2 days. I think sometimes it's much longer, right? And maybe how long would you say that the end consumer is receiving the items when they are having an EFN and shipped from completely different country?
Of course, it depends on the country your items are located in, but usually it would take like 1-2 days more. So it's not like, lightning delivery within 24 hours, which is sometimes very important to the customer because they want to buy today and have the item tomorrow. So you should be aware of that and just take into consideration this fact.
Yeah, and I want to add here as well from our experience and our knowledge that we recommend with the EFN, as Julia said, it's easy to set it up and easy to start in one country. So in Europe, where you locate your stock, you need to have a VAT registration, as most of you already know. But we recommend to do it in the last case in Germany, because in all of the countries, you need to have VAT in order to store your product. But in Germany, you need to have additionally tax ID just to sell. Even if you don't store your products in Germany, you need to have such called Steuernummer in German, which is a tax ID, and you must have it. So if you register for tax ID and you want to sell as an EFN in Germany, it's very easy to add to this registration a VAT number, meaning that you will obtain both tax ID for selling purposes and VAT for storing at FBA purposes. And once you have it, you can also start your EFN from Germany. And right now there is no issues, right, with the UK Europe border. So after Brexit it was, but 2 years ago again you can have EFN, and as it is in the picture, right, store in the UK and supply to the end consumers in all country.
Yes, you can do that right now, but as I told before, it's much more expensive. And another thing I would like to also mention that if you're a smaller business, it's better to start with EFN and try that. But if you are going like you're a bigger company and you have a lot of inventory and you would like, of course, that the customer receives it faster, so you can move faster. So in this case, this is not the best option for you. So it's better for the beginning and for smaller portion of items to send.
Yeah, and I would say maybe from my experience, it makes sense for a bigger company to register to all 5 European countries, and that's what we're going to speak about right now in Pan EU. Yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about Pan Europe. Different people pronounce it in different ways. So Pan Europe is more about speed, right, and lower cost, because in case with Pan Europe, you can ship in different countries, but you should be aware of the VAT registration, because if you don't have that one in every country, you can face actually problems with the taxation institutions, and you know how it happens. And it also offers a simplified logistics. You can ship to different countries, or you can ship actually only to one, but in this case, Amazon distributes themselves all the items between different warehouses, because there is a thing you should also know. Even if you ship only, for example, to Germany, it doesn't mean that all your items will end up only in one warehouse. Amazon, in order to have faster delivery to the final customer, Amazon just takes your items and distributes them between, like, for example, let's say 10 warehouses. And in case with different countries, they will distribute your items and goods between, I don't know, like let's say 40 warehouses, because it's cheaper for them and faster for them to deliver the goods from not from eastern part to western part, but take them from eastern part and ship them closer. But of course, there is a bitter part of this pie if we talk about pan-Europe, and it's not only VAT that you have to settle, but it's also about more complex setup, because you need to have all separate your stores in each European country, and you need to manage them, to control the inventory, to control your listings. So it's this way. This is something more sophisticated, and of course you need to have more knowledge about that, or you need to hire the agency or people who knows how to work with that. And
Can I interrupt you here? It's a good point that you said, because how we usually calculate the stock, right? We need to take into account the daily sales in each of the country and then combine them together to make one shipment, right? Or any other specifics of predicting inventory.
Yes, of course, you need to be aware of the seasonality every time, especially if your item is not something that is sold, for example, I don't know, 100 items each month, and it doesn't change, or maybe only during the peak season. But there is also an issue in this case with pan-Europe, because you sell in different countries, but Amazon shows you combined stock everywhere. So if you sell in Italy, Germany, and Spain, for example, Amazon, and for example, in different countries have 10, 20, 50 items. Amazon will show you anyway one combined stock of 100 items. So the calculations in this case are also more complex, because you need to be very careful about the sales in different countries, in the trends, because, for example, in Spain, this item can have higher sales, and in, I don't know, in Germany, lower. And it's very important thing to be aware of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think we cover all on pan-EU, and I'm just thinking. But I think we did. I just want to say it here, maybe like from marketing perspective, one little thing that is important to know, that combined presence in different markets and good selling, like let's say a good sell-through rate and all good reviews, they combine together and help each other market with organic ranking. And this is very great to see, that if you actually do the pan-EU and do it good, and all the listings are synchronized together well without issues, you will actually benefit in the end in terms of the selling. The reviews that you get in one market will actually be also beneficial for another market, etc., etc. But of course, it's a little bit more complex, because I also maybe in this slide just want to cover there are more than 5 marketplaces in Europe, and there are Czech Republic, there are Poland, there are Austria, there are Sweden, and there are Netherlands, and they're not considered as pan-EU in this 5 biggest marketplaces that you can see on the image. But you can also have a VAT there, and you need to have a VAT. We cover VAT in a separate module, but in terms of VAT, you need to keep track. If you, for example, sell in Austria more than a threshold, you need to register for the VAT. But in general, still, those marketplaces are not so big. Just to know that Amazon might also distribute your stock to these countries. And if you have a VAT there, it's beneficial. If you also, like, for example, have good presence in Czech Republic, you can make sure that Amazon also distributes the stock and be as close as possible to the end consumer in Czech Republic. Yes.
Maybe just one thing I would add about Czech Republic and Poland. So if you accept the storage in Poland and Czech Republic, but like your main market, for example, in Germany, you will have a lower fee if you want to store in those countries. And as I remember, it's like 26 cents less than usual fee. So it can be also a great opportunity for you to save.
It's a good point because you have a pan-EU here, but you don't have a pan-EU in those little markets like Sweden, Czech Republic, Austria. And I think, is it working also the same for Sweden and Netherlands, right? That if you have a VAT there, Amazon will send the stock there, and you also have a lower FBA fees.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah.
mhm.
It's. I think it's very different, right? Because there are also changes, but in general they are lower, and the FBA fees are changing quite often right now. To this one. But in general, it's also like not only about the FBA fees, but it's also about being as close to the customer as possible. But actually, yeah, let's speak about the FBA fees. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so there is a complex structure of the fees on Amazon. It's not only like, some stable price. For example, I don't know, like $1 per small item or $10 per large one. So there is the first fee is the selling plan. You can have two different plans as a business and as an individual. So you will have, and the price is different for in these cases. But like usually, most of the sellers go with the business plan. It's not that expensive, but it's more beneficial for you. So this is the first one. And the second one is the referral, so-called referral fee from Amazon. It differs for different items, but it's between 8 and 15%, and 15% usually for electronics. So, and mostly you would have something between 8 and 10. The next one is fulfillment by Amazon fee. What does it mean? It means that you just ship your items to Amazon, and Amazon takes care of everything like receiving the goods and then preparing the goods for the shipment and then shipping them to the final customers. So it includes like, I don't know, customer service made by Amazon, let's say this way. Now, of course, there are additional shipping fees for the items. And as we discussed before, they can also differ if you have pan-EU or you have EFN. So in case with EFN, you will have lower because this item is within one country, and with pan-EU, you can have different lower for domestic delivery and higher for cross-border. And there are also different additional fees, which those who just enter Amazon are not aware of. So they're trying, just to calculate basic fees like, I don't know, referral fees, and then just FBA fees and think that this is it and we can start selling. But this is actually not true, because you need to be aware that there are fees like long storage fee. So long storage fee is when Amazon considers that your item is stored for too long period, and they will charge you extra. And the thing I also want to mention that the fee, FBA fee, it's based on the size and on the weight of your goods. So the bigger is your item, the more you will pay, and the smaller is the package. So of course, the same thing, you will pay lower fee in this case for everything, like for FBA and for shipment as well. And many clients are also not aware that there is such thing as return of the goods and liquidation of the goods and this is in case when for example, your items are stored for too long, or there is some problem with your items and you cannot sell them because customers claim that they are faulty or damaged, or there is something wrong, for example, with your item because they cannot open it properly, or there is no additional fee. So the customers will claim this good faulty, and the whole batch, actually the whole batch will be considered by Amazon as faulty, and they will ask you to remove that from their warehouse. So you will need also to pay the fee for that. And I think this is very important thing, because you need also to calculate these losses while you are thinking about selling on Amazon. And another thing,
Where can you find those? Just if you remember from the back of your head, where?
of course, you can always find them, all those fee on Seller Central, and you can just, you can just type in the search area like return fee or liquidation fee, and Amazon will give you very detailed information about that, and they will provide you like different gradations of that, so you can see smaller items, bigger items, or if this item needs to be returned the same like locally, or there will be additional fee if these items need to have this cross-border delivery. So of
It's
course it
also
will be
more
more expensive.
to do a
Mhm.
cross-border return, because you really need to submit a file, which not always working, and it's more expensive. As I remember, to make a liquidation, it was 40 cents per item and 60 cents per return, but I think it's higher right now, if you remember.
I cannot recall like in the exact numbers right now, but Amazon actually, like year by year, they raise those fees, and sometimes they change like once per 6 months, but definitely once a year they review all FBA fees. So you need to consider that, for example, for 2023, you had one. One prices, one rate of fees, and the next year you will have others, and they always change that, they play with that, so you cannot predict, for example, for 2 or 3 years how it will be.
Unfortunately, so it all leads to make your inventory management in a smart way, and don't ship too much or don't ship too little. If you ship too little,
Yes.
you'll stock. If you ship too much, you will end up with a long storage fees or return or liquidation. So I think what we usually recommend usually is, if you start with a new product, you don't know how it's going to ship very small, how it's going to perform, because ship very small, maybe there will be bad reviews and it's not going to sell, and maybe at a good one marketplace it's going to be great, and our marketplace is going to be bad. And it's also better to understand which marketplace to ship to, and maybe to discontinue at some of the marketplace. But a lot of things that we speak today is to take into consideration, is to not make to not make mistakes with those shipments. And if you even face a long storage fees, then think what is better, to make a liquidation, to destroy the items, to return it back to your warehouse, or it would be easier to run a big promotions and big advertising on these items.
I totally agree with you, and there is also another part. For example, if you are already a seller but you sell your items in some retail or somewhere else, it's not the same, because Amazon can have stricter rules to your items, and if you ship a big quantity at the beginning, and especially if you are not located in the same country, and you need to have that shipment like, I don't know, from pretty far away, and you pay for that, and then sometimes it ends up that Amazon says, okay, there is a problem with your items because they don't comply. I don't know, they don't have additional seal, or for example, the date format is not adequate to their rules, or something else. So you will just end up with necessity to return, or I don't know, to liquidate all those hundreds, or I don't know, many items. So yeah, it's better to ship a small batch, just to test not only how customers react to your product, but also to check if Amazon is okay with your package, with your, I don't know, with the name, or some, I don't know, something else with your product. And it's better to not to lose a lot of money at the beginning, because you need either to liquidate or return your goods. to somewhere. And what I wanted also to say, if you're located in some other country, if you don't have the warehouse or 3PL service that will help you with relabeling, or I don't know, something restoring your goods, you will have to liquidate them, because otherwise usually it's very expensive to return them to your place back.
Yeah, especially outside of Europe. I think it's even more than to another country in Europe. And my question, actually, I have one question. Imagine there is a seller in the US or in Asia, and they're shipping products directly to FBA. At which stage or in which case would you recommend to them to maybe not ship to directly to FBA, but maybe already from the beginning find a 3PL where they can ship once a quarter a big amount, and then do small shipments from 3PL in the UK to FBA in the UK, or even if it makes sense to do so? What may be your opinion about this?
It's hard to tell, because for different companies it will be a different thing, because I would say you need to consider the cost of your 3PL services. Maybe it's cheaper for you to send smaller batches, but every month, for example, from Asia or China, and not to be engaged with 3PL. So it's, for every case, it will be a different solution. So I cannot tell in general that, like, for many companies it will be more efficient to use 3PL service.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Exactly, and I just want to say that it's really different, and we also saw that prices of 3PL is rising, right? Based on your current research, that we sometimes use 3PLs or discover new 3PLs for different needs, and they might be quite expensive, even to return stock back to 3PL. For example, if our customer did a mistake, wrong labeling, we need to ship it back to 3PL in the country and ship it back to Amazon. And it costs so much that sometimes it's better even to destroy these items.
Yeah, exactly. Because if, I don't know, if you understand that it will cost to you only $100 to lose these goods, and for example you need to pay to 3PL like 300 or more, so of course there is no reason to use 3PL in this case. It's not money wise.
Yeah, and just to conclude this slide, so we do the very detailed P&L in our service. We maybe in another video also describe how to make sure that you financially predict and analyze your business correctly on Amazon. There are a lot of fees in this P&L that you can see in general on this slide. But what is important to say that is, in the very beginning, you said that it's additional FBA fees, such as shipping fees or long storage, that you need to consider, and sometimes they're not considered when the company is making P&L. So yes, and there's some optimization opportunities to optimize your shipping fees and Amazon FBA fees.
Yeah, of course, but like as I said before, for different cases it will be a different thing. Because, for example, Amazon launches now it's not it's an updated program for smaller packages, and they offer a lower FBA fee. It's called new IPP program, and I guess it will be launched like in a month everywhere, like in the US and in Europe, which means that
March 2024. Yes, and sorry for interrupting, but it was also before FBA Small and Light program, right?
Yes. I think they're updating just something there. This program has been running, like similar program has been running before, but there's something I'm always aware about this program. So basically, Amazon takes your product. There are certain conditions that your product should
comply with.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. So they just take your product and label Amazon label on top of that, and just send your product just like that. And there is something that I don't like about that. For example, if the customer would like to return back your product, very often it means that you will not be able to sell it again, because we know how Amazon takes care of products. So it's something really risky, I would say.
To do,
So
do this program SIPP, right? In
yes, yes.
in a way, yes, but and we will see how it will work. But with FBA small in light, you can reduce your like for smaller packages, like almost like an envelope letter with the
Mm-hmm,
products. For example, we've been selling pregnancy and ovulation tests, very small products, and it can be
mm-hmm.
FBA small and light. And the fees, instead of like 3 or 4 euro pounds per item, was like £1 per item, approximately, very generally. Like so, but you're right that it's also brings some complications, and it's only Amazon labels.
Yeah, and I think this is why they're changing there right now, because if it was that successful, like when they launched that, I think they would not even rename that, because I think they had a lot of problems with that before, but they are trying to optimize and offer the sellers something cheaper. Um, Maybe so, but we will see how it will work and what reviews we will have, and maybe it will be more, I don't know, develop something and smarter. So yeah, we should see maybe in 6 months. So how people will react to that and what
Yeah,
sellers will say.
yeah, and
And
Amazon
the
partner.
other
Sorry.
with regard to the smaller items, there's also a way to minimize the cost for your FBA. It's not something you can always do, but if you are like, if you produce yourself your goods and you can do that, so just try to make your packages as smaller as you can, because every centimeter, every 5 millimeters, every 10 grams can actually save you a lot of money if you sell a lot of goods, because the fee will be lower. Amazon Amazon take into consideration all dimensions, weight, and the size. And even if you are like, I don't know, 2 millimeters longer, your package is 2 millimeters longer than it's required by Amazon for this standard or small size, they will charge you more. So just you need to carefully measure your goods before sending them to Amazon. And if you can do something about package next time, just do that to save more money. And there is also a thing Amazon offers to their clients. It's Amazon Partner Carrier Service, which means that Amazon has an agreement between them and mostly UPS to have lower delivery fees. And there is another plus of that. While creating the shipment, you don't need to create separately the shipment and then go to UPS account and create the labels for UPS for the pickup or just delivery. And you can do everything in one place, and you actually will have lower fees for that. So this is very good thing. It's not available for every country. For example, you cannot send from, let's say, from Denmark to UK using this service, but you can send from Denmark to Germany. And you can, it's also very cheap for the US, especially for LTL, for pallets. It's really convenient way to ship the goods to Amazon.
But it can be only done if the inventory is inside the country where Amazon has warehouses.
No. Not all of the countries are covered, but as I said, for example, you can send from Denmark to Germany. You can do that. but with some kind from Denmark to UK, you cannot do that. So there are some restrictions in each case. You just need to take a look if Amazon offers you that option. But if they do, just try to use that and see how much money you can save on that.
Great to hear. Yeah, because didn't know this. I think it was changed over the last years or so. All right, interesting.
You can also have FBM as an additional shipment option. What is FBM? FBM is when you are, as a seller, send the goods to Amazon, to the customer. I'm sorry, not to Amazon, but to your final customer by yourself. But this option is very good in case if you have very good logistics department and you will do everything in a promptly manner. Because if you don't do that way, your account can actually be restricted, because you can have only several percent of failures. So if you, for example, don't ship the orders to 5 or 10 customers, you can be even blocked, and it will also influence your account health. So this is like an extra option for you if you know that you can do everything very fast and you are able to track everything also in a good way. So I would say that this is something like just an extra thing if you're a business, I mean, of course. Another way to reduce your cost is to remove the products that you cannot sell for a long time and you are getting that's called aging inventory, which means that for each item you will have the extra cost you need to pay for storage. So you also need to consider either it's efficient to you to store longer than 180 days or more than a year. So in each case, it will be also a different thing. But usually it's not efficient for many sellers to ship, as we said before, to ship many products at the beginning and then without knowing how well they will be sold, and with aging inventory in a year.
Yeah, I also want to add here to FBM. We recommend FBM to bigger products, of course, since FBA fees are very expensive for the big products, but also the products which are in a higher price range, so more exclusive products or premium products. Sometimes you have maybe many SKUs. For example, I just recently been speaking with one company about the jewelry, and they have many different jewelry SKUs, minimum 70 euros per item. Doesn't make sense to ship all of them FBA. Maybe first to test FBM with a great fast shipping, and then see only after some time if you have FBM sales going well, ship the best-selling SKUs only to FBA. So that's just a little add-on, and yeah, I just think it's also related. Maybe Yulia, if you can cover also, because I think it's also maybe a good thing that we added here to this presentation.
Yeah, and as I started about the account health during our previous slide, so there are many factors that can influence your account health. One of that is inventory management. So you need to have enough stock and not to have an overstock. Actually, this year, Amazon is launching new restrictions, right? So if you don't have enough stock for 28 days, you will also have to pay extra fees for that. It's something completely new. They never had that before. So this is also something that will be explored within coming 6 months by Amazon and by sellers, because sometimes, of course, it's, for example, if you are out of stock in your factory with the product, and you cannot restock that. So sellers are trying to figure the ways how to manage that. I don't know, like closing the listings or something like that, because of course no one wants to pay extra money just because they cannot supply enough goods at this very moment.
It brings
And
us a little bit under pressure right now. So
yeah, so it's not only about having, like, I don't know, 90 or 100 days of stock on Amazon, but it's also about having like at least 30 days stock every time for all your items. So this is really a challenge for everyone right now.
is it only in Europe or it's also in the US right now?
US.
Yeah.
It's in the US. Yeah. So yeah, and as I said before, it's not to have too many products stored for a long period, because it's also like extra money for you and you will lose. You need to take care, of course, to take care very well of your clients. So sometimes clients are not satisfied with something. So you need to react promptly and inquire and address the issues and the questions they have. So you would have good listings, ratings, and maybe you can just fix something so you will not go lower. It's very important for the sales and for accounts as well.
Mm-hmm.
There is also one thing that Amazon has is stranded inventory. And I actually talked also a little bit about that before that, because if your product has some issues, or like, I don't know, a couple of customers said that, I don't know, the lid is broken or there is something wrong, Amazon just will put all your lately shipped items into stranded inventory. And sometimes it's very not Amazon actually doesn't tell you the reason why they do that. They will just tell you that, okay, we placed that because of the claims, or because we consider that there is something faulty with your product. And the only thing you have to do in this case, it's like the same: either destroy them if it's like very smaller amount, or to have your 3PL service to send those goods there and to check. And there is tricky thing about that, because they don't tell the reason. So you can receive like good items without no problems, and you will not know what to fix. So okay, because they just don't tell that. So this is something you also need to be aware of. And actually, like a couple of weeks ago, we had the problem with stranded inventory, and we knew that the items were absolutely perfect because there couldn't be anything with them. And it happened only because the detailed page was removed, and Amazon automatically considered these products like non-sellable. So, but we actually had a fight with them and we won. So, and it was very good case for us. Because it took some time, and we needed to put some pressure on them. But if you do it, you can win.
You need to have a very smart and efficient seller case management, and
Yes.
just maybe some tips and tricks on how to push them in a good way, how Amazon is replying better and solving this issue.
Sometimes you need just to have, I don't know, 6 different claims every day, because there is a person on another side. And for example, this person is not in mood, or it has some plan, I don't know, replying 500 cases per day. And so you need to try again, because you can meet another person on that side, and this person can help. So just try to be persistent. If they reply, no, we don't know anything, just try again and again and again until you solve that. Because I also had before New Year, I had not a customer, but just a person trying to consult me about the shipment, because Amazon lost their shipment like 3 months ago before that, and they had all the papers they needed to prove that the shipment was actually delivered, and nothing happened. And so he almost gave up, but after a year, he just decided to give another try. And Amazon replied that they found his goods, and like it was a pretty big sum and pretty big batch of goods. So yeah, you just, even if you are denied, just try later.
Yeah, there is a hope still with the seller
Yes.
support and with the cases. That's a good advice, just to be persistent.
Yeah, sometimes like your goods can pop up in 2-3 months, and you cannot explain how it could happen. And Amazon will not tell you. They will say, okay, we found your goods.
It's from nowhere. Just it's always very funny to work with Amazon, especially with the seller support. You never
Yes.
know when you get to the right person.
Yeah, so you need to be smart. You need to know the tools, how to interact with them.
How to write, who to write as well, if it's not
Yes.
seller support. And that's maybe we also cover in a separate video, because communication and compliance with Amazon, it's a very big topic for everyone. So we might also share some insights on this as well. Yeah. Yes, I will go to this one. If we also, shortly cover about inbound shipment reconciliations.
Okay. So what is it actually about? Let's imagine that you send your first or 10th shipment to Amazon, and you know that you send 100 pieces of a certain SKU. And Amazon starts receiving that, but at the end you can see that only, for example, 60 were received. You just need to go to your shipment tab and check, so what's going on there. And Amazon has a certain period during which they can be receiving your goods. Sometimes it can take up to 1 month. After that, Amazon closes this shipment, but in most cases, they provide you the opportunity to file a claim. So you need to provide them with the invoice and packing list and proof of delivery. Proof of delivery, this is something you can get from your carrier. So you need to ask your carrier to provide with this POD. It should be signed, because Amazon, they always ask you for signed or stamped documents. And you need to have the invoice that has also the shipment ID and the tracking ID, and the packing list also needs to have all that information. And you just submit a case within this shipment and provide them with all these documents. After Amazon checks everything, they can either accept these documents, but sometimes they say, okay, something is not good. You need to just change that, and please provide us with additional information. But if they do accept all the documents, they start investigating this case. And there are a couple of results for that. They can say that they didn't find anything. And as I said before, you can try to be persistent and try to ask again if you are 100% sure that these items were shipped. And there is another way that they say, okay, we didn't find the items, so you will get reimbursed. And you need to understand that reimbursement is the amount of reimbursement is usually the price of the item that is sold on Amazon minus all the fees that implies to this product. And this is a good thing for you when they actually reimburse this sum. It happens very often, but sometimes you can end up with them saying that, sorry, we cannot find your products. But there is also one thing, that in 1 or 2 months, when you will be investigating another, for example, shipment, and they will be checking your inventory, they can find those products because they are moving the products all the time. So in one day they can find that. So, but yeah, you need to also to know that sometimes Amazon loses your items, and sometimes it's very hard to prove them that the items were received. You did receive them, even if you're trying to show that this is the weight of this specific box and this is the size. In your carrier proves that it was delivered. So sometimes it's also a fight with Amazon about that. So what else? So we need to cover here.
I think that's it. And I believe no more questions right now, but I think we covered many things. If you're interested to learn more also about different ways of reimbursements and how to maybe get back your money through Amazon Europe specifically, happy to provide even more information. But in general, right now, thank you very much for watching. Julia, thank you very much for this presentation. And yeah, it was a pleasure.
Thank you very much to you as well. And yeah, we have a lot of topics to be discussed further because there are so many peculiarities about selling on Amazon and shipping to Amazon, and it's impossible to cover them in one video. And yes, we are happy to share with you more knowledge next time.
Yeah, maybe, of course, many topics. Maybe let's see if some people react and want to see how we do inventory forecast and inventory management. This is something that we can cover or in a video or in the next materials. All right, thank you very much for watching. And